So, hey, friends, you wouldn't guess it from here in this moment, but I've actually recorded this video. This will be the fifth time over the course of the past 3 days that I've recorded this one. And usually I pop out a video because I'm super proud of what the Lord has spoken into my heart and the information that I want to share or whatever else. But this one has seemed to be just a toggle in my head. There's been a couple of different things going on, like one, I want to learn how to stop saying so much. So I've tried to put down some notes, and as I tried to work off of notes, it just seemed to not go right. And so I tend to work better. I made a couple of notes and I'll refer back, but it seems to go better if I just go kind of off the cuff of what the Lord is actually doing in my heart. I'm trying to get in a better position to where my lighting is good, my background is good. You see where I've chosen though. Yes, we have put up our Christmas tree. We did that before my husband left for deployment to get the whole mojo. But as you see, after I got all the lights and all of the ornaments put on, the bottom of the tree went out. So just for a little bit of candor, I put myself right here in front of it to show life doesn't always go the way you want it to go. That's the name of the video. Hold your position. This is military terminology, and even though I'm a military wife, I don't totally understand what that means, but I understand it enough to know that it means to stand your ground, stay still. And in military, while it is, they do whatever they do, or they're waiting on the enemy, or however that goes, hold your fire, whatever. But in Christian terminology, this goes for stand your ground in Christ, be still, and know that I am God. So what I was thinking in relation to this is how we love to use that scripture, be still and know. We put it up on our memes, we put it up in our houses, we put it on our cars, on our mirrors, everything, because we believe it. However, when it actually comes down to it, I don't think we really know what that means, because for two reasons. We haven't really leaned in to the true sovereignty of God, but we're having a hard time doing that because we define the gospel by other memes on social media. For instance, I'm going to give you a couple things. We sort of create an identity based around these false ideologies, or some of these ideologies that are partially true, but not totally true. And what do you have there when you have a partial truth? You have a full lie, and that we're preaching into ourselves. One is you are enough. I've talked about this quite a bit, both online and in person with my people, that we are not enough. We'll never be enough because we won't be the ones who create the storm that causes us to grow closer to Christ, to grow up in Him, and that also helps others around us to grow into Him as we shine His light before them in the midst of that storm. We cannot be enough because we don't know how to properly comfort ourselves. And we also are not our own salvation. We set ourselves up that way, and we, even in a slippery kind of way, we don't, or a sneaky kind of way, we don't even totally believe that we're setting ourselves up that way, but we are. We do quite often because we believe that our works should secure a place in heaven. We also believe that our works are what measures out God's love or creates God's love for us. And that's not the case. That'll never be enough for Him. So anyways, I could talk about that one all day. The next one, which is kind of an interesting one for me right now, because I think I have shared this meme a long time ago because it was like, yes, that's powerful. But I don't think it's true. It says, and I'm paraphrasing how it goes, that Satan says, here comes the storm, and you answer back, I am the storm. Again, you are not enough to neither create nor calm the storm. And so answering or putting that out in the world, out in front of all of the enemies that are attacking you in the demonic world, because they're out there. There is an encampment, Satan's minions trying to get you. It's true. But if you set that out there in that world, you set up your own false identity saying that I'm going to be enough again. And so when we come to the terminology or the words, the military terminology, hold your position, we've got to figure out as Christians what position we are actually holding. And I go back to that statement about knowing the sovereignty of God. In Isaiah 45, verses 5 through 7, you have, sorry, I'm getting to it quick. You have him saying, God saying to us, I am the Lord, and there is no other. There is no God but me. I will strengthen you, though you do not know me, so that all may know from the rising of the sun to its setting that there is no one but me. I am the Lord, and there is no other. I form light and create darkness. I make success and create disaster. I am the Lord who does all these things. So as I look at this in my season of life right now, and y'all, I've talked about quite a bit. There's a whole lot going on in my world, and it's more than just me being all sad and sappy because my husband is on deployment and will be gone for a long time. That's hard. There's a lot of other things going on behind the scenes, and as I don't have to tell you what they are, and we're gonna be okay. Nobody's dying, but it's very hard. Now, I don't have to tell you what they are, but I want to represent these things, not to make you guess more about my life, but to tell you that I understand that there are a lot of women who are going through, people, not just women, people who are going through a whole lot of stuff. And they don't know what to do with this, because isn't God supposed to, once you become a Christian, isn't he just supposed to take care of you? Isn't he supposed to not forsake you? See, we've defined ourselves as our salvation. We've defined ourselves as enough, and God is this tool that sort of tags along behind us to sort of clean up the messes so that we live these little euphoric, joyous or happy worlds. But in all actuality, God is one who allows both joy and affliction. And so I want to make sure that I meet you right where you are. And I say, we've got to learn the definition of our sovereign God. We've got to make sure that we're not creating our own definition and put him in the proper light. This morning, and this is why I'm sort of redoing this tonight that I've recorded so many times. This morning, I laid in my bed, and I do a Sunday morning encouragement every week. And I didn't want to do it this morning at all. And then I began to dwell on God as he truly is. As we look at Job, talking a lot about Job lately, because this seems to be where I need to be. And actually, it's sort of providential. This was set up for me to study Job a while before this season in my life started. And so anyways, in studying Job, you look at him in chapter 1, where he has been taken, everything has been taken from him, all of his materials, his family, except his wife, this interesting little one over here. And it's been taken from him. And yet he tears his clothes, he shaves his head, and he falls down and worships. That's because he's recognized that the God of all the universe has chosen to use something in his life. Now, while Job was not sinless, he was a man, he did sin, he was blameless. So another meme that I think we fall into too much, or meme type thinking that we fall into too much, is we think that if I live in faith and gratitude, I am exempt from depression. That's not true. You look at this man. Job is a man who was losing everything. Of course he was going to mourn. Of course he was going to be in deep depression. There are some times in this world of struggle, you could be totally taking good care of yourself, and you could have been checking all the boxes, but somehow a circumstance or a season of depression, whether it be a depression you cannot explain or a depression that comes from a circumstance you can totally understand why you're under a depression or in a depression. So don't tell yourself that you're enough, or your works are enough, or your faith and your gratitude will ever be enough to block you. If God has set aside a time where he's going to use it, not just for your growth and to pull you close like he did for Job, but also just like he's doing to spur us on to this very day with the story of Job, it's taking care of other people. There could be other people in your life who are in need of a season of training, and God is wanting to use you as a part of it. So what I say, friends, rise up. I'm constantly saying these words or hearing these words, rise up and bow down. That means understand that you could be in a season that is going to last a while. You could be in an exile that is going to last a while. I talked about that earlier in this past week, Jeremiah 29:11. This is based around an exile that was going to last for a long time. But our God, who is perfect, he knows the path that he has set out for you. And he is your shield. He is the lifter of your head. Read Psalm 3. Recognize that he is for you and he is with you and he is working through you and he is all these things. But it is all dependent. Your comfort in that scenario, your great explicit joy in the midst of deep sadness is contingent upon your belief that he is the full sovereign God and that you are living in the finished work of Jesus Christ. I think I could go on for days and talk about 100 more things, but I think I should leave it there. I am praying that you understand and know that you're not bad and full of sin. If you're in depression, there can be sin-related depression. Don't leave that outside. But pray and ask God to give you clarity on what season of depression you are truly in and ask him to help you walk out of it in his name or to bless you right where you are. Okay. Bye.